Hello, this is Eric Miscoll with Charlie Barnhart and Associates, still here at Electronica 2012 in Munich, Germany. Here with a colleague of mine, Mr. Gilles Benhamou from Asteelflash, the number 15, I think, on the list of EMSs worldwide, ranked by revenue size. Having a discussion, and it was so interesting, we invited him on camera. So, Gilles, welcome, and why don't you begin by telling people about your company?
Thanks for this invitation. To describe Asteelflash, we are an EMS company, but I prefer to use the term of a service provider in electronic more globally. Our group is top 15 worldwide, second in Europe. We are doing a revenue around $1 billion now, revenue worldwide, with 23 locations, 5,700 people on the world. Presence in EMEA, in Germany now with a new acquisition, in UK, in France, where we have our headquarters. Presence with 3 sites in US, East and West Coast, and also with our footprint for low-cost center in China, in Suzhou, in Czechia, in Tunisia for European low cost, and in Mexico.
And recently, and you just mentioned it in your footprint, you did the acquisition in Germany. Tell us, just in brief, kind of what was it that provided to Asteelflash that was so important to add?
Yeah. But our strategy is to be very close to our customer in all the regions, I mean Asia, US and Europe. We were before in France and in UK, but the main market is a German one. And we cannot have a global strategy with our customer if you have enough the presence in Germany. So we have the opportunity to buy a company in the same segment we are processing, medium company, good knowledge with industrial segment, automotive and so on. So we will integrate Germany in our global footprint and be able now to support more our customer.
Yeah, I read some comments you made after the acquisition. I like the way you phrased it, that you don't have an acquisition strategy.
Yeah.
I believe the way you said it is you have a customer service strategy, kind of to put places as you just indicated.
Yeah, when we make acquisition, it's not to win market share. It's more to fulfill our global strategy. Global strategy is to be very close to all the design center of our customer. That means it's why we do an acquisition also in US beginning of the year, because we were on the West Coast, not at all on the East Coast, where we find avionics, where we find industrial segment. So through such acquisition, it's very key to support. We consider that to support the customer, we must be not so more than 300 miles for their design center. It's the same in Europe, and more even subject, because the language is not the same in all of the country. So if you are not German, able to support German customer, French supporting French customer, or UK the same way, you cannot develop a partnership relation with your customer at the beginning of the development of the product. Because our job is really to be on pre-production, on partnership for industrialization of the product, for supporting them on the supply chain organization, for preparing the production, and also define what should be the post-production support we can give them. So without German solution, we cannot. So it's why when we make acquisition, is first to fulfill this requirement need by our customer, not market share. After we can develop step by step our customer relation when we have the site really close to them to support.
Okay. And you know, that's important because, you know, EMS industries, they pretty much all provide the same services, you know, and so we don't need to get into a discussion of that. But what seems unique in my discussions with you is the stressing of the customer service. As you keep saying, you're a service organization, you're not a manufacturing company first.
Yeah, we are not a manufacturing company first, that's right. What is key is that we address some segment of market first, industrial, automotive, medical, defense, and security one, key one. On this segment, what is very important is to after to focus on some type of customer. Our target is medium company. Medium that's been doing between $500 million to $3 billion revenue in their as OEM. These companies are developing a global worldwide model now. That means they have to produce in EMEA or in the US, in Asia area. And our job is to have only one focus team in front of each customer. After the problem of production, how we do the engineering to give them the best services according to the region we have to follow, it's our problem globally. So the main thing is we have to have a footprint corresponding to our customer. And we have a huge number of medium companies that they are supported only by a local partner. Our job is how we can support them globally. Not necessarily in each region with a huge revenue, but each part of the revenue they have to locate in Asia, in the US, and in Europe. Because they have to support this market. And market wants that the production was very close to their factory, not very far, and transportation, logistic cost, and so on. So it's a key point of differentiation in our action.
Yeah. And so how do your OEM customers and your prospects, the ones that you're looking to attract as you develop business, how do they react to that? Do they?
Right. It's clear, we see that on this type of activity, there are not a lot of companies really well balanced in the region, because we are doing 50% of our revenue in EMEA, 30 in US, and 20 in China. And mainly production in China. It's more and more for Asia region, not for re-export in Europe or in US. It's to support the same international company who has to produce there. So balance with 50% in Europe, there are not a lot of company able to do that. And presence in the three main industrial countries, I think there are no, it's one point of our differentiation.
Yeah.
So that's key.
Yeah. And it's interesting, you mentioned the term, the differentiation. That's really the challenge that many EMS have when so many OEMs see them as all being basically the same, and then making a decision based solely on cost. So this approach that you're taking really seems to be working for you, and beyond just a marketing pitch. It sounds like it's really kind of core to the culture of Asteelflash and something that you really bring to market in an honest way.
Yeah. What is our motto, global on the group? It's one goal, one team, one company. That means no differentiation in our culture, production system, what we are in China, in US, in UK, or in every country. We put in place only one harmonized system. So that customer beginning with us will have the same services in any factory of the group. On lean, on human resource operation, on technology, and so on. Secondly, what we see on the market, where we create our value and where we give adding value to our customer, because it's a win-win challenge. It's on pre-production action. Key, it's key. How we can with them define the competitive product for tomorrow. How we can define at the first pass the right quality level between design and operation. And our job with our local team is to be really involved all the time with these engineering people, define with the design set of the customer what is the best operation or engineering for the product, doing some design to manufacture for them, advise them on the supply chain to focus on the same type of customer, because quality, a lot of part of quality is tied to the supplier. If each company wants to have his own supplier worldwide, they cannot qualify the suppliers. They could not have the right supplier with the right level of quality. And our job is to massify that, to give them what is our sources, what is the homologation we done with the supplier, and to step by step concentrate on this key company we homologate the drawing parts, the PCB, and so on, to avoid all dangerous problems that if each company is going everywhere and spread their effort.
Very good, very good. Well, I've appreciated the time here today. I've appreciated getting to know even more about Asteelflash, and I wish you continued success, Gilles. Thank you very much.
to get you here quickly. You should start from here and let us take care of everything in between. Flextronics SBS, innovative manufacturing services.